Chloé Kunda has many sides to her. And depending on when you're lucky enough to meet her, you only catch a glimpse of the full picture. The Chloé Kunda that I know will randomly say, hey, let's make a TikTok. Or she'll be pouring you a drink before your glass goes empty, and she's always quick to laugh. But equally so, that same Chloé Kunda is a serious artist. The music that she creates with her siblings has the deliberate goal to heal. They've lived multiple lifetimes, more than we ever will. And one thing that I found to be constant for Chloé is that music was always there to help her heal. And also, it seems like more importantly to her, it was always there for her to heal others. That sense of generosity seems to never leave her mindset. You know, she's fun, charismatic, but when it comes to her work, she's really serious. And I think it's because it's really important to her. Talent can be earned. Talent can be given at birth. But I think what makes Chloé really special is that she uses talent as a tool. I watched Kima Te recently.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is at the end, you know, the sounds of you guys walking out that we did right here.
That was a great idea.
It like sounds so perfect.
I know.
Yeah. It's just like that little small movie magic that made me really happy.
But you know, about that song, it's like we're up to 10,000 right now. And it's like, at least I do dream that, you know, one day we just, when I wake up,
right.
And it's like,
viral.
It has gone viral.
Yeah. But I mean, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But also there's nothing wrong with like steps, right?
Exactly.
Like the first project that you do is never going to be the best one.
No.
Unless you're super lucky. But all stepping stones.
But I'm so grateful about the Kima Te because we've learned so much.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna do the same mistakes we did on the first. And yes, we're gonna do more mistakes like coming our way, but it's just gonna get better.
Yeah.
Better mistakes.
I always heard fail forward or like fall forward.
Exactly.
I really love learning by mistakes. I made so many mistakes on sets that they will never happen again because they happen on sets.
Yeah.
I think that's one reason why I love film school or like art school is because you make so many of those mistakes for a class or for like an assignment versus like for a client or like a big concert, you know?
Oh yeah.
Right? That's why I always tell people that they have to go to film school to have that safety net because you're gonna make mistakes, especially in the beginning. It's better that you get maybe a lower grade rather than like never working again.
But I have a question though.
Yeah.
You studied film, and I didn't study music, but so I can't say how it is to study music.
Yeah.
But what do you have? You have musicians as friends and so on. What do you have in common? I mean, everything. It's art, of course, but something specific you would like think of in common that you have, except like making art. Like, do you understand my question?
What I have in common with musicians coming from film? I think for me, the number one thing that I think about is being driven by emotion. Like the same way that you're in the mood to say something, I get in that mood sometimes where, like if I'm such a happy, bubbly guy, then I kind of want to go for like a Halloween dark, just to explore that emotion, you know? Very driven by emotion. I think that comes up a lot in my photography. Like I try so hard to capture a moment and like what story does that, that's the biggest one, story.
Yeah.
I just want to tell stories. That could be with photo, with video, and I feel like with music it can be the same way, right? Like you want to tell a story or you just want to convey an emotion. That's the biggest thing. Because ultimately, I think this can be like super philosopher, geeky stuff, but I think us as humans, we want to communicate. Like that's why we did cave paintings. Like we were trying to pass things down generations. And I think someone might do it with music, like you do. I do it with a camera. Yeah, it's just the tool that changes, but that desire is still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when you write songs, like what, I guess it's kind of similar to the other one, but are you more focused on story or like emotion, or can it be as simple as like a line that came to your head that you want to embellish into a song? What kind of drives you?
The feeling,
Yeah.
like how it. First of all, before I put something out, I have to know how it makes me feel. I want to feel good, sad, angry.
One thing I'm curious, like how much of the audience is part of that process for you? Like, do you write a song for you, or do you really think about, oh, is the audience gonna like this, or are they gonna like this sound?
It varies. Sometimes it starts like with how I feel, and then before I like finish everything, I put myself in the audience place.
I like that.
How do they feel? How do they understand this?
Yeah.
How can and sometimes it's more like it's like a painting. You just I put this out. You're free to
interpret it.
Yes, exactly. The way you see it, the way you hear it, the way it makes you feel. So sometimes it's like a painting. Sometimes it's like, this is what I am saying, listen. And sometimes it's more like, you know what, let's have a great time, just...
I get you. How do you feel about like the idea that art, it can be interpreted how you want? Because I might be on the other side of a lot of people where I kind of want art to have an intention. Like if I want to say a certain thing with an art piece and someone interprets it in a completely different way, that's not okay to me, because that means like I didn't do my job well, right? How do you feel about that? What side are you on?
Of course, I want like people, the audience, to interpret. Yes, in a good way. But at the same time, I just think this is what I think. And of course, it's a free word and so on, but that's not the case. It's more like, as long as I know what I am putting out there and what I stand for, if I can if it would be like you interpret in the bad way, and but I don't want you to do it like in your own way. So I would like at least to be ready to, hey, this is how I meant, this is how it is, this is how I see it. And then you're still free to feel how it makes you feel. You understand what I mean?
I like that. So it's not one or the other, it can be both. But you at least say what it's meant to be.
It depends on what kind of message you're sending out too, of course. And of course, if I meant something well and you took it in the wrong way, well, of course, it can say it says not, how can I say it? Sorry.
No, you're good. We're in no rush.
How can I say it? If I meant A and then you
interpret
like zeta,
that's
just like, no, that means like I have failed.
That's
you understand?
I
I have failed. That was not my intention for you to get. Like, I wanted you to understand this, but you got like the other. But at the same time, I always like to see it from other people's perspective. So that means if you saw zeta instead of A, that helps me to learn from why did you see it that way? What can I do better? What could I do better? And how could I transmit my message in a better way, or because I don't know how to call it in English, but at least in the law, when they write the law, they don't want people to have 2 cents of betydelse. And so how can I do it? The next time I'm doing something, I want to be very specific about people to see it the way I see it with my eyes, not with their perspective or whatever. So how can I do better? How can I what can I use, what, you know, all of that.
Yeah, I mean, all of this sounds so serious, but what do you think about perfection before releasing something? Because a lot of people might wait for a project to be absolutely perfect, but then there's also a school of thought where out is better than perfect. Like, it's so important to just let something go, let it out into the world, and just learn from it, move on.
It's good to like be a perfectionist, but it can be a hinder.
Yeah, a hindrance.
For you to get like start doing what you should be doing.
Amen.
Because
yeah, I'm all about it.
So it's like you have to start somewhere. And I am more of a, I want everything to be perfect. And that's like how do you say freinage?
It breaks you.
Exactly. Yeah. It breaks you from like, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And you have, and I think, I don't know, courage, because we do judge ourselves. Like, I do judge myself more than you would.
Might judge you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So sometimes it's good. It's good to have all of that. Like I want this to be this, to be that. But you have to put in mind that I want to, but it shouldn't be I have to in everything. In some of the steps, yes, but not in everything, especially if you are starting somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the start will always be.
Yeah, and I think that comes even true when you're working with other people. Like when you're working on a team, you can micromanage, but that's just not going to be healthy to the team. You kind of have to like pick your battles. Like something might not be perfect to you, but it's better for the whole team if you kind of just agree that it's better to put effort somewhere else. I think that comes with experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know for sure for me, like almost like part of my creative insecurity while I was younger made me want it to be perfect because I'm just trying so hard. But now where I feel a little bit more confident in my work and like who I am as a creative, I allow imperfections to go out more because who cares? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I know that myself, I might see the brightness of a photo might be a bit too bright, but then I think someone who's going to see it on Instagram, like they're going to swipe by so fast, like just let it go.
Yeah.
Also, I love being able to finish a project, like a short film or whatever. And there's a saying in film where no project can ever be done editing. There's just a deadline, you know, because we can keep editing, we can keep refining forever. But I like the idea that you finish a project, you release it, and that was an encapsulation of your talents at that time, and that's okay. Next one will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've realized I would like to do more, like, of course, more music, like of my own songs and so on. But before that, just for fun, I would like to like put more covers on my page.
Yeah,
like
do
Instagram.
it. Yeah.
But the thing is, every time I record or I record a lot of songs and then I'm like,
okay.
Because it's like, it's not that I don't trust me or I want it to be perfect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, if let's say like this, of course you can do a cover better than the owner.
Okay.
You know that, right? Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Yes, and sometimes covers are better than the original.
Yeah.
But that's, if you think like that all the time, that I want to do it better than the original, it's good, but at the same time, it can be something negative. Because, I mean, it's good to do things perfect, good.
Sure.
That's totally fine. But you have to, sometimes you really have to just don't care.
Yeah.
Just put it out
It's
there.
so freeing.
Yeah.
Like this podcast has 12 subscribers.
And you know,
Who cares?
but you know, at least you started.
Right.
You started, so I'm proud of you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
You started, I'm proud
Thanks.
of you. So yeah, just
Yeah.
be free. Start, like, just put it out there.
Yeah. That first step is so important.
And as long as you are doing you, there is nothing wrong, or
Yeah.
it can never go wrong.
Even so, I think that brings you more success down the line. Like my last guest, he had a really good point where people are trying so hard to listen to the customer or like listen to the audience. If you just do what you think is good art and you enjoy making it, then people will follow. Then
Yeah.
people will come. But just do what you want to do because you like it.
Exactly.
Have fun with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's so true, both in your craft and in mine. Yeah. Tell me a bit about your background and how you started singing. Like, when did you know music was such a big part of your life?
I started singing in choirs, like
Yeah?
church choirs,
Yes,
when I was
okay.
very young. And oh, maybe not. Actually, we had family prayers every morning. I was like young when we, like, you know, I was young, but when I started to understand things and so on, I was like waking up, like we woke up 5 in the morning. And every day,
Whoa.
like 5 in the morning, everybody, prayer time with mom and dad and the siblings.
Wow.
And we would sing together. And we all have that singing voice. So it would sound like a church choir because we're like 9 children, mom and dad.
Wow.
So that's a choir.
That's beautiful.
So, and then I started singing in church, and I learned actually a lot from church choirs.
What did you learn about yourself, or you mean in theory?
Like this, what is it mean in theory?
Theory, as in when you say you learned a lot, did you learn about yourself as like what you like in music, or theory in the sense of how notes work, how chords work?
Yeah, about like chords and the singing like how
the technical side.
Exactly.
Got it, okay.
And that's where I learned how to sing, like sing.
What was a point in your life that you wanted to dedicate your life to music? Because I know that was part of your daily prayers in the morning, but was there a moment where you said, like, I just want to do this forever?
I always get this question, like, when did you feel like, you know, the question. It's now that it just, when I was young, like, you know, my dad was in prison for when I was 3 years old. And when I became like 6, 7, I visited him when I missed him so much. I would like walk from home, go to prison, visit him. And one thing I used to do, I used to sing for them, the prisoners. And I would sit on his lap on his lap and sing Silent Night in French.
Wow.
And they were grown men crying. I didn't know why until today. Maybe I'll never know. But I would just sing, and it was every time I would visit, I sang the same song for years. Silent Night in French. And the expressions, how they looked at me, and the feeling of being there and just make them feel something made me happy. I was young, but I understood that I'm doing something right. I am doing something right, like with my voice, with my with the gift I have. Already when I was young, like in a young age, I understood this is not just like I want to be a star. It was more like I have a gift. This is a gift, and I can share with everybody. And yeah.
It really feels like this is your purpose here.
Yeah. And I've never thought about it until now. That's so strange.
Wow. I think it's within you for sure that this is your purpose.
Oh, yeah.
That's so wonderful. I love it. It's your escape, but it's an escape for so many other people. And that's your gift to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just...
No, I love this. This is so great. It really is more profound than just like a fun song on Spotify or whatever product it could look like, but it's so much more than that.
Yeah, and one thing I like when I sing about myself, I want to feel it in my body. I like to feel what I sing.
Yeah.
Not just like, of course you can mean it, but I want to feel it too. I want to know what they feel.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody gets it in different ways. But if I feel it, that means at least one soul somewhere in the world will feel it too.
Is that your promise to yourself for all the other work that you will do in your future?
Yes.
Good. I like it. I think it should be. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that is a great place to leave it. Is there anyone in the industry or out of the industry that really inspires you, or someone who you think deserves some positive attention?
Yeah, Johanna Lifbom. She's a singer. Well, she's an artist, and she's super talented. And something I really love about her, like that really inspires me, it's that she's her. Like she do her own thing, and I believe she deserve like to.
You believe in her?
Yeah, I believe in her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. I think it's a good way to wrap it up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.